Wake up, wake up, wake up, 502. It is going down on a beautiful Saturday morning, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. This is your boy, Raashaan Myers, taking care of you this morning. The palatial studios of Big X, joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Haven Harrington. Haven, good morning. How are you doing, brother?
Man, what's going on, Rocky?
Man, I'm telling you, I feel like we may have found us a hero, Haven Harrington, and his name is Michael Brown Jr.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just, maybe.
I mean, you know.
I don't like Tina Turner. I don't think we need another hero, but we'll see.
Hey, Louisville basketball needs all the heroes they can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that. And, 45 points, Haven Harrington, goes a long way towards making me feel like we may have just found a little something. So, of course, we now have a Super Bowl champion. Congratulations. Seattle Seahawks got it done. They were not the team that I thought was going to win a championship at the beginning of the year, but they were the best team all year. They got it done. So, congratulations to them.
I mean, you know what? Big props in them to
Mike
winning
McDonald.
Probably the most boring Super Bowl in recent memory.
I mean, it was a beatdown, but it should have been a lot worse than what it was. I called for 42-14. They didn't get there. 29-14, though, after, a 5 field goal first half. But, they got it done. They got it done. The Patriots, they were who we thought they were. They looked very much overmatched.
I mean, the game literally unfolded just what we thought it would.
Yeah, literally.
An untested, all season long Patriots team that had like the worst schedule in the NFL, feasted on a bunch of bums, kind of got lucky in the playoffs with the bigger teams kind of, bowing out early.
Yeah, the bigger teams not being there, and the teams that were there either had the worst quarterback play in the history of the playoffs or their starting quarterback got hurt. So, I mean, literally, the Patriots had every lucky break they could to get there, and they looked like a team that was just overmatched. We got intern James back in the building. Shout out to Jay. He'll get on here in the second segment. I'm gonna have him pop on here, but shout out to him. But yeah, but it was good. Hey, the Seahawks got it done. I don't know if this is the start of any sort of dynasty or anything, but I mean, congratulations in order. They got it done, hey. So.
I will say, those who came, man, even though the Super Bowl was kind of boring, we had a blast.
Absolutely.
At Bear Nose.
Shout out to Bear Nose.
A blast at Bear Nose.
Yeah.
You guys must like a good time.
I'm telling you, it was fun. It was awesome. Food was great. I got the what did I get? I got the not the Stromboli. I got the sandwich. I never get the sandwich. I always get the pizza. The pizza's amazing. So of course you can get the Bear Nose special, which is kind of like the Supreme. That's got all that stuff. Amazing. Had that, but I got a sandwich. I can't remember what it was called though. Haven. It was a big giant sandwich. It had like the steak and the marinara and the cheese. That was fire. It was amazing. It was so good. Like the food was so good. The company, the people that were out there, a lot of great folks came out. The Bear Nose people were great. We got them on, on the show for a little bit to talk about so many things, that were going on. So, Jay has got the chance to come out. So it was awesome. It was awesome. It was a great time. So shout out to everybody. This is kind of the start of us. We haven't really done too many live events recently, kind of hunkered down for the winter. But, now as the temperature starting to change and things are starting to turn, Wake Up 502, Main Event Sports, we're going to be out and about. So just make sure that you stay tuned because we will be, things are about to start ramping up, especially the closer we get to April and Derby time. So, it's almost our time to shine, Haven Harrington.
It's almost here.
Absolutely.
Speaking of time to shine.
Yeah.
Your Louisville Cardinals, man, Monday night.
Hey.
They played arguably their best game in maybe 10 years.
I mean, like,
Am I wrong?
no, I mean, by all metrics,
this was a perfect game almost. Literally almost a perfect game.
It was one of the most impressive games and impressive showings. I believe they said that, since I want to say in the last 30 years, the game that Michael Brown Jr. and Ryan Conwell put together, we have not seen from a collegiate duo in at least the last 30 years. So, you're talking about just a special night. Louisville came into the game versus NC State needing a big win, needing, to go out there and make a statement after, their last time on Big Monday. Louisville did not play well. That they just did not have their fastball. But for Ryan Conwell and Michael Brown Jr. to go out there, put up 76 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists. I think they said that was like the first time that had been done in at least the 30 years that two teammates put up that metric. Those numbers. So I mean, of course, everybody knows Michael went for 45 points, tied the Louisville school record for single points in the game. The record that he now shares with the great Wes Unseld, which is crazy. Like anytime that you're breaking if you break any record by Wes Unseld or Charlie Tyree at the University of Louisville, that means you've done something ridiculous, because those dudes put up ridiculous numbers back, in the 60s and 50s.
And what to me was so amazing, if you think about the Wes Unseld record of 45 points.
Yes.
Like this was an era of like no 3-point shot.
Yes.
And he was undersized, kind of like in his day. Like even in his day was like what, 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6'7".
Yeah. So,
playing in the post, playing center.
It's just amazing that he could put up 45 points. I just let you know just how dominant. I don't take anything from Michael Brown. So don't get me wrong, but I'm just going to put things in perspective. Like you're doing this, no 3-point shot, all twos in the paint.
Yeah, as an undersized post player.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Wes Unseld, we talk about greats of the greats. I mean, he's one of only, I want to say two. He's either one of only 2 or only 3 players in NBA history to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. I think it's only happened either 1 or 2 more times. I believe Wilt and Kareem were the other 2 to ever do that. So, Wes Unseld, when you talk about greats of the greats, anytime you can tie a record or beat a record that's held by Wes Unseld, you've done something transcendent, not only in Louisville history, but just in basketball history.
Yes.
It's
just crazy.
It's unbelievable.
And that dude was literally unconscious.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was amazing. And the interesting thing about what happened on Monday night, Haven Harrington, is, Louisville had been playing decent ball. I cautioned everybody after the Duke loss. People kind of freaked out when Louisville lost to Duke on Big Monday at Cameron Indoor, where, Duke kind of just handled them. Michael, it was his second game back. Coming off of a decent game against Virginia Tech on that Saturday, turnaround 2-day layoff, you go on the road to Duke, and Duke kind of just blows the doors off your wins by like 31 points. And everybody kind of went crazy. And the thing that I said after the game was, yes, does it suck that Duke did that? Yes, does this, until Coach Kelsey decides to make some adjustments, there's certain teams that Louisville's just not going to beat right now. And I believe that. But the one thing that I said was, while that is all true, we can't overreact to it, because Louisville's going to more than likely have an opportunity to win 10 of their last 11 games. I thought that was a legit opportunity that they could go out there. So I said they're going to finish the season extremely strong, or I felt they had the opportunity to finish extremely strong with who they had coming up, even though they did still have several quad one games and several good teams left on the schedule. The types of teams that Louisville was going to struggle with, you really weren't going to see too many of those. So I felt like Louisville matched up very well with a lot of those teams. Now, one of the teams that I had a question about how well Louisville played against was NC State, because, NC State, Will Wade, they had been playing, underwhelmingly to start the year. They'd not played bad, but they also had not found too many of those signature wins. So NC State had come into that game, 6-game win streak, playing really good basketball. And Louisville just went out there, Haven, on Monday, and they just destroyed them. Like, it was crazy because it was back and forth early. I think it was like at about the under, I don't know if it was under 12 timeout. I think it was under the under 12 timeout. It was like 25-20. Like, it was not a blowout from the beginning. It wasn't like Indiana where you get up 16-0. You know what I mean? Like, it was a game that was very competitive early, and then it just felt like
it was over.
Yes, Louisville found that extra gear. They locked in defensively, and they just blew the doors off NC State. And it was very much. I don't think this was a fluke shooting performance. Like, we've seen Louisville go out there and just hit a bunch of threes. Like, to me, the Memphis game comes to mind, where Louisville beat Memphis by 30, but it was more or less they just got really, really hot from the outside. And Memphis was, not a great shooting team. And Louisville just kind of took advantage of just doing kind of the same old, throwing the ball around the perimeter, and they just hit a bunch of shots. They just happened to hit a bunch that game, including Case and Pryor hitting 3 threes in that game, by the way. This game was not that, Haven, and you'll have to give me your opinion on what you saw. But in my personal opinion, this game felt different. Like, this is a game where I'm not changing my opinion. Like, I still – Louisville still has to show me that they've changed and they've made some adjustments when they play some of these bigger, more physical teams. But the thing that was interesting about what happened on Monday night was how Louisville got it done. This didn't feel like a game where they were force feeding the 3-point line. Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't feel like this was a game where I felt Louisville was hunting as many 3-pointers as they could get. Like, that wasn't really the case. Like, case in point, they only had Louisville, who's a team that came into the season ACC best 34 plus 3-point attempts per game, right? First half, they only shot 11 threes in that first half. Okay, Louisville, 20 of Louisville's 31, 21 of Louisville, no, I was right, 20 of Louisville's 31 shot attempts in the first half, Haven, 2-point shots. They were being as aggressive going downhill and getting to the rim as any game this year. And we've seen that be successful, Haven, against some lesser competition. But the first thing that I noticed, and you can tell me what you think, that was the first big change that I noticed, was that not only was Michael Brown looking to get downhill, but Ryan Conwell, Isaac McNeely, Javon Hadley, all those guys were looking to get to the paint, and they weren't going to be deterred. Like, was that something that stood out to you? Because to me, the value of the paint touch seemed to jump up exponentially this game over the last few.
Well, you could tell that was a point of emphasis for them to hit the paint and hit the paint hard and to take their man off the dribble whenever possible. So, to me, that was an awesome point of emphasis. That's something we've been talking about all year long that needed to happen, and it finally happened.
Yeah, I mean, and the numbers bear it out in that first half. Like I said, 31 shot attempts, 20 of those being in the paint, and of the 18 made buckets in that first half, 11 of them came off an assist. So you had 11 assists of those 18 baskets, which tells you that A, guys are getting into the paint, and B, guys are driving and kicking to open players, or they're finding guys that are cutting to the basket. Like, this was the first game, Haven, where it really felt like, we mentioned the fact that Louisville had done a few little things to kind of combat the fact that teams had begun to sit on the 3-point line, starting with that Stanford game where teams really crowded the pick and roll. They were really physical with ball handlers off the pick and roll. They weren't letting Louisville breathe. And Louisville really struggled to find adjustments. Like, what they would end up doing normally if they got crowded at 3-point line, they would just step back and shoot from further out or shoot fadeaways. Or they really didn't, if the team was going to crowd them, there are ways to combat that. And Louisville had just not done a good job of combating or finding that pivot to combat that. And of course, I just want to let everybody know 502-414-1450. That is the Game Day Men's Health text line. If you want to get involved with the show, would love to hear from you on any of your thoughts in regards to this or anything else this morning. Please hit us up and we will read those texts live on air. But Haven, we mentioned the fact that Louisville started to find some success with hitting Sananda Frew on the short roll, where as soon as the guys were doubling off the pick and roll, they would slip the ball to Sananda either with a pocket pass or a quick little dump pass over the top, something to where they catch the teams out of alignment and they could take advantage on the backside. Like we started to see some of those things over the last couple of games, and it felt like in this game, Louisville kind of took that to the next level, where not only are they finding the variations of Frew coming off that quick roll, but now they're back cutting more quickly. Michael Brown is getting in the air and pass faking to Sananda, and now that teams are aware of that short roll, as soon as guys help down because they think the ball's going to Sananda, now we spray to the corner for the wide open three from McNeely to start the game, or now we kick it opposite to Ryan Conwell. Now Conwell ball fakes, closes the drive out, and now he can dump it over to Sananda for a dunk or kick it opposite wing for Michael 3. Like, it just felt like the team is starting to get comfortable with understanding that we don't have to be relegated to just a three-point shooting team, and we're finding how to combat and how to, it's like judo, right? You've talked about that in the past. It's like, when you talk about judo, you talk about how you use the opponent's momentum against them, right? So all these teams want to have this momentum of trying to stop Louisville from the three-point line, and they're leaning and they're getting more and more aggressive, pushing out to the three-point line. So what do? You use that aggressiveness against them, and you cross them up. See, James just did the whole crossover, like literally in the studio. Like, that's what you do. You use that momentum against them because they've got to cheat. Louisville's so good shooting the ball that they have to cheat. So what do you do when you cheat? You reach, you teach. You use that against them, and it felt like this was something that they figured out. And I don't expect for them, Haven, to go out there and shoot. What was it for the game?
It's almost like 70% at one point.
It was unbelievable. They shot 60% from the 3-point line. They shot 18 of 30, 60% from the field, 81.5% from the free throw line. Like, I don't expect for them to do that. I don't expect for Michael to go out and get 45, but I do expect that the things that they've learned is going to lead to higher percentages and better shots more consistently. Is that fair?
That's fair, but the basketball gods may be with us, because it looks like now that North Carolina's all-star player has gone down with an injury.
Yeah.
Louisville actually may not really be tested until the ACC tournament.
I mean, Caleb Wilson, the news that Caleb Wilson had that fracture in his hand, I mean, it sounds like more than likely he's going to be out until maybe the last game or two of the regular season. I know they played Duke the last game of the regular season. So they're saying that may be when he's available and eligible to come back. But more than likely I won't say more than likely. He's definitely not going to be ready for the Louisville, North Carolina game, the Louisville, North Carolina game in 10 days on the next big Monday. That's not going to happen.
It looks like, because that was probably the only game for the rest of the season where I thought Louisville may have a chance to really, really, really get pushed. There's other teams on the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, you go on the road to number 20 Clemson, so that's going to be a tough game. But once again, Clemson, A, is a team that Louisville found success against last year, and B, Clemson is not a team of overwhelming size and physicality.
Because with Louisville, we know it's not so. It's more about a type of team that we struggle with.
Yeah,
and that type of team with the big physical guys in the paint and in your post players, we're just not going to be facing that.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that there are still some opportunities out there. Like Miami's been playing really good basketball, and they finished. Louisville finishes the regular season on the road at Miami.
But once again, does Miami fit that prototype team like the Tennessee?
They're super athletic.
They're athletic,
like they're super athletic.
But are they that big physical team that tends to give us issues?
I mean, you look at Miami as a team. They're a team that, of course, their leading scorer is the Indiana transfer Malik Renew. He goes 6'9", 238. So I mean, he's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's not super tall, super long. He's not the most explosive athlete in the world, but he is a guy that can get on the block. He can kind of stretch you out as well. They have the freshman 6'6" Shelton Henderson, who's another 6'6", 240, big, strong, athletic guy. Very aggressive going to the paint, but once again, not super big. Now they do have a big athletic center, Ernest Uday, 6'11", 266. So I mean, Miami definitely gives you some physical challenges. Like that, they are a big, they give strong, challenge,
but it's not, but it's still not. I don't think it's still quite the team that. I'm not saying the Louisville should be undefeated like the rest of the season, because there's anytime we can have a bad shooting night, and when Louisville tends to have bad shooting nights, that kind of gets in our head a little bit, and that tends to drag down the rest of our offense if we're not shooting threes at a consistent clip. So a bad shooting night against a Clemson or Miami could spell trouble.
Yeah.
But if you just look at like the prototypical teams that give Louisville like the most problems, it's not there now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that,
which bodes very, very well for us as far as our net rankings, moving up KenPom, moving up just the AP rankings. Louisville can now make that run to get that a more favorable tournament seeding and a more favorable seeding in the ACC tournament. So
I mean, you want to finish with a top 4 seed. You want to finish with a double bye. I mean, right now Louisville's playing for positioning for the tournament. Like that's the biggest thing. You want to get back into the top 4. You want to get up a seed line or two. I mean, I do think that like today's game, in Texas, not a home game for Baylor, but it is in Texas. I believe it's in Dallas. It was in Fort Worth. It's in Fort Worth, so it's not
Dallas, Fort Worth. Kind of about the same.
It's not a home game for Baylor, but it's very close. It's home adjacent. So like that's something that it right now it's considered a quad one game. I know Baylor hasn't had the greatest season, but it's still considered a quad one game. But I think that game and the game Tuesday against SMU. Like if Louisville can come through this 2-game stretch and win both of these games, because I think that both of these games do supply some challenges. Baylor's super athletic team, we'll get into them in the next segment. And the game at SMU played Louisville very well. They're one of the best offensive teams in the country. They played extremely well. They were up on Louisville for a lot of that game before Louisville was able to come back and get it done. But that game down there at SMU in Dallas, that's going to be a tough game. So if Louisville can get through these next 2 games and win both of them, you've got to feel great about their momentum, moving towards the end of the season.
Especially with the schedule and UNC being hurt. I mean, you really, really have to like Louisville's schedule and what this team can do, especially now that they're kind of figuring out. I know much to your happiness, Raashaan, that they figured out now that, hey, maybe playing all the big guys isn't such a bad thing after all.
Yeah.
Maybe
find that defensive identity.
Like maybe not going to three-guard offense all the time is like the best method.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest, my biggest thing with Louisville and what we saw against NC State on Monday was that my thing was, if you're going to play the offense, the 3-guard offense, what I said was, if you're going to have Michael and Conwell and Isaac McNeely out there, you've got to be really good offensively. And that's the thing that we haven't been seeing recently, is that you're playing these 3 guys out there, which is supposed to, in theory, give you this explosive offensive attack. but you weren't. And playing that smaller lineup, you were going to have some deficiencies defensively. And that was the trade off. It's like if you're going to play smaller, you need to be able to score consistently at a pretty good clip to make it worth it because you're going to be giving up something defensively. And I think that Louisville found a couple of things. Not only did they find some efficiency offensively, they actually played one of their better defensive games as well when the smaller unit was in there. Now, credit to excuse me, credit to Coach Kelsey because, you know, oh, good.
Credit Coach Kelsey
Yes.
because he made those changes.
Well,
right?
he made those changes, and he went to the big lineup first off the bench, which is something that we had not seen. Is that, you know, when he went to the first sub, he took out Isaac McNeely instead of Javon Hadley when Kenai Roots came into the game. So he went, immediately from your small, explosive offensive lineup and went directly to the defense, the better defensive, longer, athletic lineup, which is something that we haven't seen in one of the lineups that's been the most successful for this Louisville team all year. It's a small change, a small adjustment. He still went with the 3-guard lineup at times, but I felt like backing up the really, your most explosive offensive lineup with your best defensive lineup really, really made a big impact because it's like, okay, we're going to get off to a good spot offensively, and then we're just going to cut your water off offensively for the next 3 to 4 minutes. Does that make sense? Like, the double up of doing both back to back over that 40-minute time period really helped Louisville. And like I said, I don't expect that Louisville's going to just completely destroy and blow out everybody down the stretch. But this game, Haven, did feel like there were things that were figured out, and there were some things that really, are different about what I saw. If this was a different Louisville team, it wasn't about just hitting a bunch of threes. It wasn't a bunch of luck. There was a lot of things I like. And another one of those guys that we'll talk about on the other end is Ryan Conwell. There were a lot of things that I liked about what Ryan did last night, a lot of things that, I want to remind people about who Ryan Conwell is moving forward. So we're going to get into that. Much, much more. You are listening to Wake Up 502. Raashaan Myers, Haven Harrington, Big X Sports Radio, and we'll be back in just a moment.
awards. Then under business, we have Dr. Mike King, who's a great business leader, and we also have Richard Breen, who's an attorney and also running for sheriff. So, and then under clinic, which is nonprofit, we have Dr. Sweeney Jett, Park Duval. So,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
great work that
Very
they do.
familiar.
Yeah. And then under family, we have Janet Pearson, who's been in the community working. She's been working for like 50 years on family issues. Then we have under education, we have a couple different award winners, Janet Pearson, as I mentioned. Then we have our Lifetime Achievement Award, which Ray Sir Friendly C. Barker was won it our first year. And then we have media, as mentioned, Jay. And then we have our Youth Peace Award, which is McDaniel Blewett. You know McDaniel and
Know him very well.
the West Louisville Performing Arts Academy. So we got a good mixture of well-known people, but we also like to honor unsung heroes and sheroes as well.
Awesome, awesome. Man, it's going to be a great event. So tell us about like I know you guys have some food and things of that nature. So kind of tell us like what's going to be at the event that people can look forward to.
Yeah, so it's a banquet of great food, music. We have some great entertainment, some great speakers, and it's just a fun time to uplift and hear what all these great people are doing in the community. And so, every year it's been growing and growing. So we're pretty excited about that.
Oh yeah, this is a big event because if you've never been to the Crown Plaza Ballroom, the place is just beautiful. They have it completely decked out. They have like a coat service if it's chilly out and you guys need coats. So everything's will be taken care of. Parking is free and parking is ample. So you have nothing to worry about. So we need to have you guys there. Get there early. So I'm telling you right now, everybody's going to be there. All the who's who, all the big dignitaries, as Jay likes to say in Louisville, are going to be there. And we want you there too. So once again, that's next Saturday, February 21st. Doors open at 5. The event will start promptly. So I know Dr. Hayes over here. So I know this is going to start promptly. It's going to start promptly at 6 o'clock. So be there. It's the Crown Plaza Ballroom in the Crown Plaza Hotel right there, 830 Phillips Lane, right across the street from the fairgrounds.
Yep.
You can't miss it. It's literally the tallest hotel on Phillips Lane, so you cannot miss it. Be there and support all these great folks. And Ray, you have something you want to tell us?
Yes, I do. I want to give your listeners a reason to be there. That's the reason why I'm here. I want to put the personal touch on it. A lot of people know of Dr. Martin Luther King, but imagine in this community, you have someone that marched with the good Dr. King. And so if you've never met Dr. Reverend Charles Elliott, this is your opportunity to get here and meet this 91-year-old who's making history, who has made history, and shake his hand, take a picture with him while he's still here. Because a lot of us that had the opportunity to meet King never forgot that. And we tell it to our kids and we tell it to our kids' kids. And for those that haven't met this history maker, now we are recognizing unsung hero. What makes Sir Friendly C an unsung hero? And I was one that received the Lifetime Achievement Award. And that's what this is right here, is that I've got a street named after me. A lot of people don't know that. When I was on the police department, I was named one of the top 10 cops in America.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that, and then this organization reached out and they honored me in my own community because I know of the great works of Dr. Charles Elliott. I was humble and grateful to get it. Just like Mr. Hess, I know he's excited to get this award. So this is one big reason for your audience to come out, meet this history maker, take some pictures with him, and be a part of history in the making right now.
And I just want to say, Reverend Elliott, me and him go back a long way. I actually coached his grandsons, Sharon and Charles. Coached them, coach basketball with those guys. So those folks are good folks. Reverend Elliott, man, he has a spirit about him. Anytime you meet him, he's just so energetic and he always has a smile on his face. He's so funny. He's a blessing to this community. King Solomon Church, his church, his home church, great people there. So definitely appreciate, this. I did not know about these awards, but to hear about them, it's amazing. So it really gets me excited. It definitely comes full circle for me because of myself and my association with Reverend Elliott and his family. But let me ask you, for these awards, so let's just say somebody hears this and they have somebody that they wanted to nominate for the award for next year, or they wanted to get involved or find more about it. How does someone go about getting more information about it if they wanted to nominate someone for the award? How does that process work?
Yeah, so that's a great point. We do have a nominating committee, and we get a lot of input from the community. They can contact myself at peter@compassiongames.org. That's my email address, peter@compassiongames.org. Or the phone number is 502-419-4539. And we'd love to entertain any nominations for next year. And we'll be continuing these Peace Awards. And it's also during Black History Month. So we're honoring Black History Month and the civil rights and the 40 Days of Peace. So there's a lot of confluence of different events that we're honoring, but to really honor these community heroes is awesome. We have Mayor Greg Fisher going to be there. He's a sponsor. So we got other people that he's a past award winner, but folks like that who are past award winners going to participate and continue to support this effort as well.
And when you see Peter and I together, we're reflective of what that committee looks like. It's both black and white and male and females. It's people from all parts of town. Past recipients, it's been like Papa John's. He stopped what he was doing. He don't even live in Louisville anymore. Mm-hmm. And he flew here with his entourage from Florida just to get this award from Dr. Elliott. If that doesn't tell you how much his presence in Louisville means to people, nothing will tell you when somebody, that big stops what they're doing and says, Dr. Elliott's recognizing me. Mm-hmm. I'm coming. And he did come.
Wow. That just says a lot. And that says why you guys need to be there next Saturday, February 21st, Crown Plaza Hotel, 6 p.m. We need you there. You can still get tickets. You can call Reverend Peter King. What's your number? Peter Hayes. What's your number again?
Yeah, 502-419-4539. Call me or send a text. 502-419-4539.
Hey, there you go. You have the number.
We're very excited about Jay Has. Both Ray and I have known him for a long time.
Long time.
He's being celebrated for his 38 years of radio work in the community, just like you guys, too. You guys are worthy of awards, too. I know all the great work, Haven. We've crossed paths over the years.
Several times. Actually, Jay's the reason that we know each other because he's the first person that introduced me to you. Decades ago now. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, and I remember when Evander Holyfield had his boxing match, we kind of took him around to some of the media events. So Jay has done a great job, and he's also volunteered a lot in the community. I know we have the Boxes of Love. He comes down every year and helps with our Backpack Angel program. So he's always asking how to get engaged, not just on the radio, but in the community. And that's very important to give back.
Most definitely. We'll definitely be there in support of Jay and in support of all the other winners, and actually just in support of the event itself. We need more things like this that really bring the whole community together. From all parts of Jefferson County can come together, and we can celebrate all of our heroes together. We need more events like this, and I'm so happy you guys put this on. I thank you guys for coming in today to share this with us.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Keep up the good work.
And
go Cards.
There you go.
And thanks for allowing us to come in too.
Absolutely.
Oh, you guys, no problem. Anytime.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we always try to make it a point, whether it be Wake Up 502, whether it be Main Event Sports or any of our other entities, is that while we love sports, we talk about sports, it's always much more about the community. It's about the people that make up this beautiful city. And anytime that we can put a spotlight or have an opportunity to shine a light on something that's not getting enough recognition, we definitely want to take that time. So definitely appreciate you guys for coming in with us this morning.
Wonderful. Yeah, and sports is very important. It teaches, I was thinking this morning, teaches teamwork, working as a team, but also kind of living for a higher purpose. Because, I used to, back in the day in New York growing up basketball, I was known as Pistol Pete Hayes after Pistol Pete Maravich. And I did score 51 points.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One game. That's my claim to fame.
He's getting buckets. That's
but
what
I was a ball hog. Didn't play any defense. But you do have to learn to, share the ball, and, you can, to be a good teammate, you got to pass the ball around, and especially in basketball, but any sport.
Absolutely.
From here on out, I will now call you Pistol Pete Hayes. You never should have told me that.
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, but no, thank you guys again for coming in and so Sir Friendly C, like for me growing up, man, like you were an icon for me. Everybody, growing up, knew who Sir Friendly C was. Anytime you would come out to schools and do appearances, I just want to say thank you. Like this, I'm like a bit of a fanboy, so this is like one of my childhood heroes being in the building with me. So just thank you for all the work that you've done around the community over the years. It's definitely appreciated. So I feel like I want to get your autograph before you leave.
Well, thank you. And let me give you a little bit of history.
Yes, sir.
When I was a police officer teaching kids to say no to drugs and violence, it was during a period of time where police were not known to be friendly.
Yes.
Their job was just to enforce the law. So I met a lot of opposition back then. And the Reverend Dr. Charles Elliott stepped up and said, get your foot off this young man's neck. If he wants to save kids, if he wants to let kids know that police officers are approachable, then let him do that. And see, this type of history is lost when we don't have events like this. And Mr. Hess, I thank you for your kind words, and you are the legacy of not only me, but Dr. Charles Elliott too. As you continue to go forward, none of my work will be lost, and none of Charles Elliott's work will be lost.
Well said. Absolutely. No, appreciate that. But thank you guys. If there's anything that we can ever do here with Wake Up 502 96.1 FM or Main Event Sports in general, we always, the doors are open, our seats are open, our microphones are open. Anything that you have, any upcoming events, please let us know, and you're more than welcome to come back and be a part of the show.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, thank you guys for coming in.
Now we have something going on at least once a month, every week. So
I love. Hey, take full advantage of it.
Hey, we're here.
Take full advantage of it. Even if you just want to, send us in. If you want to call in, you just want to drop us a line and say, "Hey, fellas, can you,
Sure.
can you let us know? Just please let us know anything that we can do. We love to highlight it. So
we're like Haven. I know Haven's always got something going on.
Oh, Haven, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and I know you're the master of sending Facebook messages. So just anything you guys going on, just send me a quick Facebook message and we'll put up there. Send me a flyer.
Yes.
We'll post on the website and we'll definitely get out there to our millions and millions of viewers.
Sure. No, we follow you on Facebook as well. Yeah. And you do a great job. I love sports. Ray does too. So it's exciting. We're talking about that U of L game, Mikhail Brown.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, everybody's in a better mood. Everybody was in a foul mood there for a little bit. Like Louisville was winning, but, everybody was nervous. So I like it a lot better when everybody's happy. And once you see a guy go for 45 points, nobody has anything to, be upset about. So I'm all about that.
Yeah,
so.
And I like the way the coach and the team kind of really supported him, because sometimes go ahead they would have pulled him, but no, they encouraged him to get that last shot was like, ooh, okay.
They pulled him back out and sent him right back in there so he can get the record. That was nice. That was real nice.
Yes.
I mean, that's the one thing I will say, is everybody gets so caught up in the moment. It's like, we need to appreciate what we're seeing right now, because this is a special team. This is a special time. So, let's not get so caught up and worry about where the journey is going to end, and just enjoy the time you have.
Enjoy the journey.
Now. Yes.
It's like Lord of the Rings. Those guys walked for like literally 3/4 of the movie, and it's still enjoyable. Watch them walk for 3/4 of the movie.
Yeah, you mentioned Wes Unseld, one of my favorite players back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing player.
Absolutely. I mean, well, like I said, anytime you break a record or tie a record associated with Charlie Tyree or Wes Unseld,
Yeah.
you hear those two names, you know you've done something special in terms of Louisville basketball. But like I said, not even just Louisville basketball, just basketball in general. It's two of the greatest players in the history of the college game. So Michael definitely is a special talent. This whole team, I love Coach Kelsey, what he's done to completely change the vibes around the city. After a rough couple of years, it's just been amazing. So I'm just glad everybody's happy again. That's my biggest thing. Let's have a little fun. Let's enjoy it. And same for you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Next Saturday, you're definitely going to want to get out there, see our buddy Jay Has. I know he'll be calling in probably the start of the next segment. So he'll be in full peacock mode as he gets ready to accept his award. He'll probably be somewhere with sunglasses on the radio, even though nobody can see him. So love Jay Has to death, and appreciate you guys for honoring him and giving him his just due, because he's done so much in this community. He's done so much for Wake Up 502, for myself and Haven Harrington, that anytime he gets an opportunity to get his flowers, that's much appreciated.
There we go. Hey, once again, thank you guys for coming out. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back.
Yes.
Man, so much more to talk about. Louisville sports. Got some Olympics to talk about.
Do you really want to talk about the Winter Olympics?
Dude, it's the
Does anybody really like the? No, I'm just playing. Okay. I'm just being mean.
No, I honestly, I have not watched that 1 second of the Winter Olympics. I was really joking about that Winter Olympics segment because I haven't watched anything.
That's all right.
Except for highlights.
There we go.
On the commercials.
That's terrible. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it. The Reverend Dr. Charles Elliott Peace Awards. Go out there, get your tickets. Go out there and just support a great event and some great people putting it on. Thanks so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sports Radio. Raashaan Myers, Haven Harrington coming to you live from the Palatial Studios, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. Once again, thanks to Rev and Sir Friendly C for coming in and letting us know about the unbelievable event upcoming, the Reverend Charles Elliott Jr. Peace Awards coming up next Saturday, February 21st. Make sure you guys go out there, get your tickets on there, and just be a part of a great event celebrating some great folks, including Jay Has, I believe. Now intern Jay is over there in the studio now. Jay, how you doing this morning, brother? You doing all right? Yeah, is your mic working in there, Jay?
I'm good.
There he is. There he is. You doing all right this morning, Doc?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain.
Excellent. You know, you ain't been in a few shows, so you know we always got to check on you, make sure you're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? So anything good going on? Anything new in the world of Jay? I know you. What's going on with the greatness that is Manual High School? I know you're going to be graduating here soon, ain't you?
Yes, sir. Working on scholarships and college applications. I've got some acceptance letters and just waiting on the other ones.
Oh, is that right? So you know, do you want to give out any names, or you don't want to jinx it? Like, have you gotten your acceptance yet from where you want to go? Any ideas on which way you're leaning?
Waiting on the decisions from where I really want to go. I've
Nice.
accepted to some in-state schools. U of L, Kentucky, WKU. But looking at some out-of-state options.
Okay, I heard that. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely, any chance you get, man, to get out there, spread your wings, get out of town. I always advocate for getting out of town. So I like it, you know what I'm saying? So get out there. Don't limit yourself, brother. Just make sure you, take every opportunity that's given, man. Get away from home. Home's always going to be here. Mama's always going to be here. But anytime you can get out and experience some new places, you got to do that. So let me just ask you, if there was a place, if you could go anywhere, any school in the country, from California to New York to Florida, where would be your number one, even if it was just for the experience of, getting away from home? Where would that be?
My number one is Morehouse.
Morehouse, really? Atlanta? Okay. Well, Haven Harrington can tell you a little bit about that one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Okay, there you go. So I know Haven knows it well. That's his stomping ground. So Morehouse, that's what's up. So I'm gonna put all my positive vibes into Morehouse coming out there and accepting you in
I appreciate that.
down there. So definitely, I'm sure that the Morehouse decision makers are big time watchers of Wake Up 502. They're listening right now. So make sure you guys go out there and get Jay together. But I do want to remind people, because I know Jay has online. Yeah, hold on. Before we get Jay on, we're gonna get him to talk about this award he's got upcoming, as well as Louisville. But I just do want to remind everybody, make sure you check out our folks at the Feet First store. The Feet First store in Jeffersonville is helping Kentuckiana move better and feel better every day. If you are dealing with plantar fasciitis like me, which is not the greatest thing in the world, knee pain also like me, back pain also like me, or you spend all day on your feet at work, they have you covered. So I am definitely one who can let you know that they are definitely needed. But if you do, anything on your feet, whether it's playing basketball, if you are a pickleball player, golfer, whatever. Haven's actually showing me his golf swing right now. He's showing me he's running in place. He's doing all kinds of odd things. Their personally fitted orthotic system is designed to improve balance, alignment, and overall comfort. Athletes can see better stability and performance, and everyday workers get the relief they need to keep going strong. Make sure you go ahead and schedule your appointment by calling 812-725-0208 or visit feetfirststore.com to book online. You can find the Feet First store in Jeffersonville, Indiana, 2781 Jefferson Center Way in Jeffersonville. Go give a yell out to Chris Cannon. He's the owner of the Feet First store. Awesome dude. Knows literally everything about feet. But like I said, I am one. I went out to play ball yesterday. Me and Cam got back in the gym, and I wear my orthotics with my tennis shoes, and it makes all the difference in the world. Back pain, knee pain, all those types of things. Just make sure that you go out there, see Chris, and let him know that Wake Up 502 Raashaan Myers sent you. But I tell you what, man. James, you said we may have lost Jay Has on the line.
We have him.
We have him. Hey, there we go. Let's go ahead and bring him in. The man, the myth, the legend. We heard about him. He's getting honored with a Reverend Charles Elliott Jr. Peace Award. Jay Has, good morning, brother. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Sean and Haven?
Doing well, brother. Doing well. Had the fellas in to talk about the upcoming award ceremony next Saturday. Are you excited about receiving the award, Jay?
Man, I'm always excited to receive the prestigious award from any care politician, any community activist. I'm grateful and thankful, man. After all these years, man, somebody acknowledge how hard and due diligence I really work outside the radio industry. Because you guys are a big piece of the puzzle of this me getting this award. Raashaan Myers and Haven Harrington, those two guys have been a part of me for the last, almost 20-something years. You know, we've been in the game, man. But you guys get a piece of this award as well.
Hey, Jay, you've done so much in the community over so many years, man, that, you definitely, the honor is well deserved. Everything that you do, all the give back you do, the way you reach out to folks, we just appreciate you. Ever since that you put me and Haven in contact back in the day. Like I said, I used to see Haven all the time at the football games and just wonder who this old
who's the little black guy?
It's like, who is this dude? I never said anything to him. I'd nod to him, but you put us together, and since you put us together, Main Event Sports Show all those days back, man, it's just been a wild ride. So definitely appreciate you, man, and everything that you do.
But like I said, I'm always grateful and thankful for much for outside besides the radio industry, man. But I've been in the radio game a very long time, as you know, Raashaan and Haven. But I got to give a lot of kudos to Tony Fields, Bill Price, Radio One. I mean, so many radio companies, Blue Chip. I've been in international sports as well. Radio as well too. Tom Joyner, syndicated radio show in Dallas, Texas, 10 years with that. But man, I've been with it a lot, man. I learned a lot, but I'm totally grateful, man. But the most important of it is Raashaan and Haven is meeting you two guys and developing and the deal like that, man, and Robin and Superman, whatever the character is, and go ahead and do it, man, with the people in the community, man. Because we've done a lot in the community. We used to go to barbecuing, and we stopped at several places. We did Freddy's. I mean, so many things we did with Raashaan and Haven, man. It went to so many things that we laughed. Dude pulled a gun out over here. They remember that, Raashaan?
Yes. Hey, man, we have had some wild times, like from hanging out with the Louisville basketball players, the NFL guys, and baseball players, and getting run out at Griff's party, and Derby Galas. I mean, Jay Has, we have done literally everything. Run around on Hey, Jay, you remember when we was running around on Valentine's Day when it was a snowstorm and we was out there running around the city? Yeah. We've done so many things, man. Gotten into so many things with the cowboy cookout, going out on Memorial Day barbecue. We was going in people's yards to see what they was cooking. We done so.
I remember all that, man.
Absolutely.
But man, it's really an honor and privilege, man, to be a part of two distinguished gentlemen, Raashaan, Haven, man. I give totally flowers to you guys. Like I said, wouldn't for you guys, I wouldn't be honored this prestigious award coming next Saturday on the 21st. And Raashaan and Haven, I got some other to tell you as well too, man. But I got a couple of things. But I'm having my birthday party, man. JS back in the business again.
The celebrity birthday bash is coming back.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, man. I'll tell you all about it, man, today, man.
Okay.
But anyway, man, we released the nation. Yesterday, I was looking at it on the internet. The released the nation. Raashaan, you're correct, and yes. I got what it was.
Yes, they lead the nation in kill shots to start a game, and what a kill shot is to start the game. What they call it at the beginning of a game. It's called an ambush. And an ambush is when you get a game started with a 10-0 lead or better. And Louisville is tied for the most kill shots to begin a game with 4, along with Central Michigan. So Louisville actually leads the nation in getting off to the fastest start possible. And it's funny because Louisville's been getting off to these slow starts over the last couple of weeks, and people have been fussing about it. But Louisville actually leads the nation in getting off to the best start possible. So, unbelievable. So that's one of those that they got to be doing something right, Jay. So what did you think about Michael Brown Jr. dropping that 45 the other night, Jay?
Well, I was sitting next to you. I was excited as all know what, man. Hey, that boy done far, man. McDonald's All-American, man. I mean, after he been out for a month and a half from that back injury to score 45 points.
It's amazing.
And do a significant, amazing young man on the effort of what he does on both sides of the ball. He's doing that offense. Raashaan, I tell you, wait till you see him this evening. How the way he played this evening. This team's going to win. This school is going to win, but no less than 12 points today.
Okay.
They're going to be Baylor.
Yeah.
But I like how aggressive they was playing on both sides of the ball with Raashaan Myers, and we'll win and come back home and win as well too, Raashaan.
Okay. All right. You said 12-point win. I like it, Jay. We'll have to see how that how that goes. I'm excited. I agree with you. I think it's going to be even though Baylor's has not had the best season, I think they said in terms of one of the worst seasons under Scott Drew since he took over. But still a very tough game. They got athletic. I'm going to tell you what, one dude to look out for, Jay, number 24, Tunde Yesefu. He's a McDonald's All-American. A lot of people compare him to Anthony Edwards. It was his comparison coming out of high school. Kid is the real deal. He's averaging almost 19 points per game. They got a couple of guys. Cameron Carr is another kid, number 44. Very, very talented, long, athletic wing. So Louisville's going to have their hands full, man. They got to go out there. They got to play well today to win. So, those are a couple of guys to look out for. But you think Louisville's going to continue to roll after what they did on Monday night?
Yes, sir. They will win by 12 points today.
Okay. All right. There we go. Y'all heard it here first. So, Jay, the last thing I want to ask you before you get off of here, kind of talk about, you were hanging out with us on Sunday for the Super Bowl. We got the chance to see, Sam Darnold and the Seahawks get it done over there at Bearnose. You helped put that deal together. So, just want to say thank you for that. And we had a good time out there on Sunday, didn't we?
And that was a last-minute urge thing right there. And I made a quick call, and actually, to make a long story short, I did it for Haven Hampton, actually for his birthday, and tied two conjunctions together with the Motivate Sports Show Live and Haven Hampton celebrating his birthday as well, too. So that's what it's about, man, and I had a great time with the people coming out. And, man, I could say the barbecue mayhem was great to go down with Raashaan Myers and Haven. The people are talking about it, and they get on board with it. I'm excited about it coming up this summer in August, and I'm excited, man. The one thing I was saying, I'm going to get off here with Raashaan and Haven.
Yes,
the one thing I love about Wake Up 502, you can never go wrong because they're always accurate of what they say and what they do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So you guys keep doing what you do. You guys, the baddest sports show in the country to me, and keep doing what you're doing, Raashaan and Haven, and the intern. You're already amongst the top of the game. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing a fabulous job. Jay Harris, thank you everybody so much for supporting what I've done in this business. I actually retired sometime this year. But anyway, man, I want to say, man, thank you for everything you guys have done for me.
Jay Harris, appreciate you, brother. Whenever you decide to hang up them tennis shoes, brother, we are gonna party like it's 1999. You feel me? Like we gonna do it big. So appreciate you, man. Look forward to listening to you fuss about this Louisville game later on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There it is. Appreciate it, Jay, man. Thanks. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Jay has, checking in with us this morning. He's going to be honored at the Crown Plaza Ballroom next Saturday. So So good. Haven, you can just feel how excited he is to get this.
Oh, he's beyond excited.
That's awesome. Hey, James, do we have any texts in this morning?
We do.
Do we?
Yeah,
So what we got on text group before we get back into this chat?
Says, good morning, Wake Up 502, main event, happy Valentine's Day. I know Jay Haz isn't celebrating Valentine's Day today because he's playing the OJ song Brandy, singing in the mirror. I really miss you, Brandy. Go Cards, beat Baylor. And what do you think about Rick Pitino and Andy Bashir?
Yeah. Rick Pitino popped up on the Andy Bashir. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. He's on the podcast. I don't understand Louisville's fans' fixation with everything Rick Pitino says and does. Just let the man go.
He's the Don, man. That's Don Pitino, man.
Let him go. I was done with Rick when he donated to
Kentucky football.
Yeah, when he donated to Kentucky's NIL, I'm done. I was over.
You done with Rick?
Done. I don't care what you do at St. John.
Dang, that's messed up.
Over. Stop.
But Haven, Rick loves UK. Rick loves UK.
He loves UK.
He loves UK.
If Mark Pope ever gets fired and the Rick is still alive and able to coach, he's going to apply for that job.
Now, honestly, I don't think he would do that. I think he has found his home, like being able to coach in the Mecca, in his hometown, back in New York. I don't think your brother's ever leaving St. John's. This is like his dream job, being able to coach all his games in Madison Square Garden. I mean, hey, for him, retirement age.
Man's like 70-something, so I know he likes being in New York, and he loves Madison Square Garden.
No, Joanne loves being in NYC. She definitely don't want to come back to Kentucky.
Those guys like even. Those guys in the same city. She's been in New York. She's never left New York.
That's fair.
Rick's the one that left New York.
The wifey loves it up there. I don't know if she's going to be talking about returning back to no horse farms.
First of all, she ain't following Rick nowhere.
No, at all. She's like, no,
I'm good, bro.
Yeah. but you know what though about my thing is
checks coming.
I love Rick. You know me. I love Rick. Like I don't mind because I always knew who Rick was. You know what I'm saying? So I know he loves Kentucky. That's why we could never beat him. Is because he loved them too much. But like I always just loved Pitino. But it was funny for him to listen to he said I deserve to be fired because them other dudes is idiots.
I mean, the man goes back and forth.
He doesn't necessarily ever take full responsibility.
I mean, the man goes back and forth with, I never should have been fired. Yeah, I did it. He reminds me of the Dave Chappelle skit with Charlie Murphy. No, with Rick James.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't step on it. I didn't put my feet on this couch. Yeah, I put my feet on this couch.
Yeah. He's like, I take full responsibility for it being those dudes' fault.
Well, yes, the guys I hired.
Yes,
it's all their fault. Even though I knew they were all shady when I hired them, it's their fault for being shady like they were when I hired them.
But you know what? I still love them. When I watched St. John's UConn last Friday, and just to see Rick in his full glory out there putting it on Hurley, that just still. Just brings a twinkle to my eye, man. I just can't. I can't.
I can't. No.
You just hate Rick Pitino.
I don't hate Rick Pitino.
You do hate Rick.
I don't hate Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino, he's a great coach, and he was a very good coach most of the time he was in Louisville.
That's all you can give me.
I mean, yeah, most of the time, because there were about 4 or 5 years that he was literally just skating. You and I both know
he was coasting, and that was interesting because he actually brought it up on the podcast saying that one of the reasons that all that stuff happened is because he felt the pressure to get into the one and done game because of what Cal was doing.
I'm telling you, U of L fans, and I know this is going to be sacrilegious, what I'm about to say.
Yeah,
we should thank our lucky stars that UK hired Calipari. Because U of L would not have won the championship.
That's fair.
If UK did not hire Calipari. Because Rick was literally like an old man just coasting here, just getting okay players, coaching them up. We had good seasons.
Yeah.
We're always going to win 20 games.
Yeah.
And we had that one great year, Francisco and Taekwon Dean and those guys. But That was that season was going to be an apparition season with Rick here.
Yeah, Rick was chilling.
He was chilling until UK hired his arch nemesis, and he never could beat his arch nemesis, and just made him more upset. He had to start coaching for real.
Yeah,
he had to start recruiting for real.
Yeah,
and we won a national championship.
Yeah, so I mean, no, I totally agree with you, but I think that Mike Rutherford was talking about this yesterday and said that he felt that Calipari and the one and dones kind of forced Rick's hand. I honestly think the thing that broke Rick Pitino was when he lost Antonio Blakeney to LSU when they had it done. You remember that whole thing about the shoe, how Nike just basically strong-armed Antonio Blakeney away from Louisville when Blakeney was going to sign with Louisville, but Nike just went way overboard and just paid him to go to LSU with Ben Simmons. I feel like that broke Rick. Like at that point, Rick was willing to do anything. That's why he hired Jordan Fair, and
we also
here we go.
Teague for the same reason.
Yeah.
We lost Teague because of Nike to UK.
Yeah, and Trey Lyles as well to UK. Lost Trey Lyles, same thing. And it broke Rick. I think that's why Rick is loving it in New York now, where he's just, and now you can pay players, like, right? It's like college, it's like professional basketball. Now it is no, under the table shoe deals. It's literally, let me find me a billionaire and we can just go pay for whatever team we want, and it's rejuvenated Rick. I think that Rick is, where you have guys like Izzo and guys like who's the Clemson's coach, Dabo Swinney, who like hate the NIL and hate players getting paid. Rick loves it. He's one of the OG coaches. Is like, I'm a pro coach anyway. So if you tell me I can just pay my players.
No. Let's back that up. He always wanted to be an NBA coach. He was a couple of years.
Yeah, he was a coach with the Knicks.
Yeah, but he was never like, a very good NBA coach.
He took the Knicks to the playoffs.
He did
before he got the Kentucky job.
But he never was like, like that dude. But
that's because he ended up with Antoine Walker instead of Tim Duncan. Is why he never was a great NBA coach.
I mean, also
that makes a difference.
It makes a big difference. But his personality suits college more than it does pro.
Yes, because he believes he's bigger than the program.
Yeah,
and that's not really the way college works. But that's not the way the pros work. So.
Not at all.
Yeah,
like, I think Calipari actually may be a better pro coach because he's very good at managing personalities and egos.
But now that Rick can pay his players, like,
what's better than that?
He loves it. Now he can go out, he can get the guys he wants, and he can pay them, and he doesn't have to worry about getting beat out because of whatever shoe he wears. Because we know Rick and Nike are never going to get along because Rick hates Nike. So, it kind of is what it is. But I still have a soft spot for Rick Pitino. I always have, and, it kind of is what it is. James, we got any other texts in this morning?
Not one.
No, that was it. That was all. So, well,
maybe I should say something more controversial.
Well, no, everybody's happy. I'm telling you, everybody's happy. When everybody's upset and pissed off about Louisville basketball, Louisville football, we will have 85,000 texts. But Michael Brown goes for 45. My man Ryan Conwell, who we're going to get into, goes for 31. Nobody's got any issues. Everybody's just excited. So, it's just like, what's there to be upset about?
I mean, honestly, with that game, there's really nothing you can critique about.
It was a perfect basketball game.
It really was. It was literally the perfect basketball game. Like, everybody played well.
Yeah.
Everybody did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, there's just nothing. They played excellent defensively. They were excellent offensively. They out-rebounded the team by, I think the only statistical metric where Louisville got beat in that game versus NC State is
quitting.
No, well, points in the paint, barely. NC State had 46 points in the paint. Louisville had 40. But like outside of that one statistical category, Louisville won every statistical category.
I mean, like, you made NC State quit with like 15 minutes to go in the second half.
Yeah.
Like, they were done.
Yeah.
And you could tell they were done. They were like, man, we're good.
It was just interesting because it felt like, and that's one of the reasons
that's how Duke felt.
I'm very interested to see what happens today because honestly, Baylor is like baby NC State. Like, they're kind of the same team. They don't necessarily shoot it as well as NC State did on the year, but as far as their alignment, their size, their athleticism, they're very similar. They're a little bit bigger on the wing, a little bit more athletic on the wing than what NC State is, but they don't shoot it as well. Size-wise, they're about the same. They do bring the big center off the bench, James Nanji, the kid that came over from the NBA G League. He was the first G League player to come and play this year besides the kid out of Santa Clara. But he was he's the guy that everybody ignored. But then, of course, when London Johnson commits to Louisville, everybody loses their flipping minds. But James Najee hasn't really done much for them. He's a big guy, 7 foot, 250, 255. Comes off the bench for Baylor, but doesn't really
do a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like 3 points, 4 boards.
It's just like this is a game that Louisville should face resistance. But like Jay said, by the middle of the second half, should easily start to pull away and should put these guys away.
If you can defend and slow down their top 2 guys, if you can slow down Carr and Yesufu, they don't have
There's nothing else.
A pivot. Like, they don't really play through the post. They don't really shoot it particularly well. They don't really have a lot of answers. They just have 2 really good young players that can get buckets, but they are terrible. For as athletic as they are, because they're kind of young, they're a bad defensive team. And, one of the things that I've thought about with Scott Drew specifically, and I looked at the way Baylor has had, because everybody made such a big deal about going after Scott Drew because he was a national championship coach. He won that championship. But I started thinking about it. You know what year Scott Drew won the title, right?
Mm-hmm.
He basically won a bubble championship. He won it the year that COVID basically shut down everybody. Nobody could be in the arenas, and they won that NCAA tournament with nobody there. Like, I always talk about the Lakers bubble championship, saying that's not a real championship. Maybe I should start looking at Baylor the same way.
Well, the NBA's a little bit different.
Like, you won the game, but nobody was really there, so it wasn't really a championship. Like, nobody's in the arena. You don't have big crowds. You don't have the passion. You don't have, like, you know what I mean? Like, so maybe Louisville dodged the bullet not getting Scott Drew. Like, I'm looking at what Baylor's doing this year.
Maybe Baylor just got lucky. Because sometimes that happens, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody putting a premium on him, both Louisville and Kentucky went after Scott Drew hard. Like, maybe it was a good thing that Louisville didn't get Scott Drew. Because if Louisville was having the year that Scott Drew's having right now, this year, like,
now we know the Louisville fans be
yeah. James, you said it. Like, I think they said Baylor had their worst start in 25 years or something.
I mean, like I said, this isn't a team that should be able to push Louisville, really.
Yeah.
Maybe give us some troubles here and there, but not really like this isn't that squad.
Yeah. I mean, but they were impressive against BYU. When they played against AJ Davanta and those guys the other night, I thought they were going to beat BYU. They were up like 8-10 at halftime against BYU, but second half BYU, I think they got back, took over. I think I checked the game about 5 minutes into the second half, and BYU not only erased that 12-point lead, but they were up like 10. They ended up losing the game. I mean, but Baylor lost by 5 points, so that's why I say Baylor is a solid team.
Like I said, they
have talent.
They have talent,
but they just don't have enough.
They don't have enough, and Louisville has more answers, I think, than any questions that Baylor can propose.
Agreed.
If that makes sense.
And we're going to get into that on the other side. I know we're kind of up against it. We're late for our final break of the evening, but or afternoon. But when we come back on the other side, we're going to kind of get into some of the points that I'm going to be looking for. I do want to discuss Ryan Conwell and kind of some of the things I saw from him and what importance he will have down the stretch. I heard an interesting fact, actually, from my buddies over there, Maven and Rummage. I heard something, so I thought that was very interesting. So I want to give some thoughts on that, and we'll wrap with a few other things. I'll get Haven's thoughts on. But you are listening to Wake Up 502. Raashaan Myers, Haven Harrington, Wake Up 502, and we'll be back on the Big X. playing "I'll Really Miss You, Brandy." Like, explain yourself.
It was my idea.
No, that was yours.
My idea.
Wow, that's it. I was like, all right. So there's a Master P, No Limit song. That's the exact same.
Yeah. They sampled it.
And that's what I thought. That's what I thought it was. I was like, okay, where we go? Where we go? What's happening? But that's a very interesting choice, James. What was your reasoning behind that was how you was feeling?
Where it's Valentine's Day, we're in the spirit of love.
Love.
Just a callback. It got mentioned, so might as well put it on.
Hey, you know what? I like it. I support it.
Manuel's finest right there, man. Manuel's finest.
You know what? Exactly. Absolutely. Happy Valentine's Day to all who celebrate. I'm not the biggest Valentine's Day guy. I think it's a corporate holiday in which they just figure out a way to make women mad at dudes if they don't get them flowers.
What holiday is it now a corporate holiday?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but at least there's like a basis for a lot of Valentine's Day. They just literally just created out of the blue, just to say men are supposed to buy you flowers and send them to work and get you candy, and if they don't, they hate you.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
So some people were talking about this at school.
Yes.
A girl asked, "Do you think guys are supposed to get something for Valentine's Day?"
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay. See, because there was some people throughout the thought, maybe if you're in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, then you're a boyfriend, so yeah, you should get something. But if you're single or just dating around, then
you shouldn't get anything. I mean, it all depends. Hey, but see, the thing is, Valentine's Day, it can work out if you're single. If I know you ain't of age yet, but if you are out there looking, you go to a bar on Valentine's Day night, brother. More than likely, you're gonna end up finding a friend. So it works out both ways. But that's
wrong for that.
What? Am I lying?
Is he lying?
No, not really.
Okay. But I wouldn't know anything about any of those things. But
that's Raashaan out cruising at like around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when the bars close.
Just look for all the sad ladies out there
in the corner. Hey,
they didn't get it.
I'm Raashaan Mike.
You hear that voice? You heard that voice on the radio. Oh, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. I don't need anybody throwing any knives or pitchforks.
Yeah, he's just playing because he actually gets to bars at least around midnight.
That's fair. Hey, women like somebody who can sing karaoke. Though.
I know. So
James, you sing karaoke. You sing it all.
James can do it all.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do it all.
He can act.
Okay.
He's an actor, writer, football player.
I know his moms can sing. So, I figured that the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
I dabble in a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A Renaissance man. I like it. That's fine. So James, then let me ask you, do you have somebody you're getting a Valentine for? Or are you looking for your Valentine?
No comment.
Oh, good answer. That's what I'm talking about. Because, some of these ladies, they'll be scandalous on Valentine's Day. They'll act real sweet to you because they want the flowers and candy. Then they won't talk to you no more. They just want the Valentine's Day stuff, James. You got to watch out for them.
I remember being in high school where like Valentine's Day was like Christmas part 2. Like everybody come to school with with their balloons.
Oh yeah,
and, like their gifts. And
I will say there has not been a year I haven't had a Valentine's though.
Really?
I will say that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I just thought about that.
4 for 4.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look at it.
See, that's impressive.
It's very impressive.
I'm telling you. But, so happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. And all you ladies, I'm just playing. I'm not giving away all y'all secrets. I just got to put the young man up on game sometimes. We got to do that. But I digress.
Intern. We got
to teach him, man. Yeah. You got to drop some knowledge on him. The Roman's about to be an old married man at some point. Him and his lady been together for a while. So, he's pretty much locked in. James.
And he has a trick niece. So, yeah, he's pretty much all
Yeah, exactly. He's already just basically an old man. But, James is still out there. And intern Dre, he's still
he's
a
13.
little young.
Yeah.
So, he ain't got into that spot yet. So, we got to make sure we teach these youngins right, man.
You know what? I'm about to enter Dre his props on calling the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Well, but see, didn't Dre say it was going to be close, or did he say it was going to be a blowout?
He said it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, he did say it was going to be a blowout.
No, Dre thinks nothing but blowout.
That's true.
That's his thing.
Dre thinks somebody's going to get blown out every game. Literally. So let me ask you, James, who were you going for in the Super Bowl? Were you on the Seahawks? Did you want to see the Patriots win it, or did you care?
None of them win.
Yeah, good answer.
But I was rooting for the Seahawks.
Okay. Yeah, don't nobody like the Patriots. Like, nobody wants to see the Patriots win nothing.
And I didn't want Drake May to get a Super Bowl before Lamar.
Fair.
He won.
I'll be honest.
Fair. Even though, I was annoyed. Sam Darnold's the first quarterback from that quarterback class because, Sam Darnold was in the Lamar Jackson quarterback class. And he's the first one of that class to win a Super Bowl. Freaking Sam Darnold.
If you really think about it, Jalen Milroe got a Super Bowl before Lamar and Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it happens. That's all right. Lamar's going to get his next year. They finally got a real coach now, so I'm calling it
excited.
Ravens in 2027, baby.
Yeah, not me.
It's happening.
Until I see them on the field and see what they look like, I ain't.
No hardball, man. No more hardball. So we're good now. Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. But Haven Harrington, so this was the interesting thing. Like I said, I have to give credit to my buddies Marcus and Steve because I heard it on their show, and I don't have the ego to where I have to say I came up with this on my own or ignore them like they never brought it up. This was a very interesting stat that I believe Steve brought up, but it was very interesting because he was talking about how everybody looks and talks about Michael Brown and talks about, they see the 45 points and they talk about, this whole Louisville team is so dependent on Michael, and without Michael, we can't really do anything. And he was talking about how everybody just kind of takes for granted Ryan Conwell. And he said, I want to kind of, he said, when we talk about Ryan Conwell, we look at him as, okay, well, Ryan's doing all right. Yeah, he had 31 and 6 the other night, but yeah, and everybody kind of takes him for granted. Well, first of all, of course, as we know, Ryan Conwell is the leading scorer on this team. But the thing that he said that's interesting was like, when we talk about some of the best Louisville players of the last 10, 15 years, one of the guys that we hold in the highest regard and maybe the highest of, almost all these guys is Damian Lee. Because, that year with Damian Lee and Trey Lewis, Damian Lee came over as a transfer from Drexel and lit it up. And people always talk about Damian Lee as his individual one season at Louisville. People kind of hold that as one of the better years in Louisville over the last 10 years or so. So he said, everybody thinks Damian Lee's great. If you compare Damian Lee's numbers, his 1 year at Louisville, to Ryan Conwell this year, just to give you a comparison between the two. Okay, so Damian Lee, his year at Louisville, he played about 34 minutes a game. He was averaging 16 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Okay, shooting 34% from 3-point range. Okay, he was the leading scorer for that team, and a team that we thought could make a run. Of course, they got pulled out. They never got to go to the tournament, but that was a team that people thought could make an Elite Eight, and have a chance to push for a possible Final Four. Well, this year, Ryan Conwell is averaging 29, almost 30 minutes a game. So he's right at 30 minutes. So 4 less minutes than Damian Lee. Averaging 19 points.
3 more points a game.
5 rebounds. That's a whole extra rebound per game, extra. 3 assists, more assists, and a steal and a half. Shooting 36% from 3. So, like, literally across the board in less minutes, Ryan Conwell is having a better season than what Damian Lee was that year in 2016, 2017. I thought that was very interesting just because, 2015, 2016. It was very interesting because people always think about Damian Lee and talk about, man, that dude was just the man that year for Louisville, and it's like, Conwell's better than him. And we look at him as the second best player on this team or the second most important player. Like what Louisville's doing this year and the potential that this team has, we need to appreciate it. Like I know everybody gets worried about where the story's going to end and how good this Louisville team can be. Can they make a Final Four? Can they make Elite Eight? Can they make the second weekend? This is a really good team.
They're a very good team. Like they have the talent to be a Final Four team. They have the roster construction to be a Final Four team as long as we don't face a physical team that can pound it down low.
Yeah.
Like that's our kryptonite.
Yeah.
That's our kryptonite. If we can avoid, if we can be like the Patriots and get lucky enough with the run through the tournament and avoid all that, like the Patriots avoided their kryptonite,
Yeah.
which was like really good teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely make it.
Yeah.
And against those really big teams that give us problems, if we can shoot at a decent clip, like if we shot like we did last night the rest of the season, like if you can guarantee that we can shoot 3-pointers like we shot against NC State the rest of the year, we're going undefeated and win a national championship.
Well, the interesting thing about Louisville is that even in games like when you talk about that, the 2 Duke losses, and the loss to Duke, in the first loss to Duke that we lost at home, Duke scored 84 points. In the loss versus Duke in Cameron Indoor, Duke scored 83 points. They did not score this ridiculously large amount of points. While Louisville's defense was not great, it was not terrible. It's not like Duke scored in the 90s. Like, the problem was
offense left.
Yes, Louisville only scored 52 points against Duke in Cameron, and they only scored 73 points at home.
And that 73 is a little bit of a misnomer.
Yeah.
Because we were up by double digits at one point.
Yeah, up almost 20.
Yeah, and then they flipped it on us.
Yeah, they flipped the script. But the problem is not really, while the defense has not been great, the problem is Louisville's offense against these bigger, more physical teams has failed because they were hunting that 3-point shot and really didn't know how to have a counter to where if the team wasn't going to let them shoot the 3, what else can you do? And that's why I said what they've been doing recently with finding some of these counter punches and some of these counter actions to where teams, if you're going to crowd me, okay, now I'm going to go backdoor. Okay, now I'm going to pass fake and move the ball to the open guy. Like, that's why a guy like Ryan Conwell becoming more of a facilitator. He led Louisville in assists in that game. He had 6 assists, even though, of course, all 6 assists came in the first half. But Ryan Conwell being better as a distributor and looking to put the ball on the deck and getting to the rim and not just settling for fadeaway threes is a huge development, because if you can do that against a team like Duke, that changes the calculus, because now hopefully you're scoring at a more consistent clip.
Or try to get to the rim and look to score.
Yes.
And still look to, and that's
and get fouled.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we complained about for a lot of the season. Guys were driving. Like Woolley was driving.
Yeah.
Rogers was driving. But they were driving with the intent to pass.
Yes.
And not with
not
the
looking
intent
to score. Louisville going to the basket, looking to score. They shot 27 free throws against NC State. That's what you need. Like that. That's a huge, I guarantee you, if I go back and I look at those at the Duke game, I guarantee you Louisville wasn't getting to the free throw line. And that makes all the difference in the world.
Makes a big difference.
If you aren't getting fouled, if you're not being aggressive going to the free throw line, like, you're just not going to be successful trying to shoot a bunch of threes over long challenges. Okay, like, let's see. I'm looking at the Duke game, the last one that we played against Cameron. Louisville shot 13 free throws. Like, 14 less free throws, 14 less opportunities for easy points. Like, that doesn't solve all your issues, but, it helps a lot. And that's the types of things that I'm talking about. Like, and I think that's where materially I'm looking at it and saying Louisville has a shot. Like, I'm not saying that they can't get over this hump. I just need to see them continue to execute and shoot a good percentage, because, like, just don't be the team hunting threes all the time.
No, that's a recipe for getting beat.
Yes, I totally agree with you.
And if they fall back into old habits, and old habits are hard to break. So don't think we can't fall back, especially like if we hit our first couple of threes and then go cold, then we'll most likely want to keep jacking them up thinking, okay, we're going to get that streak back again.
Yeah, and they only shot 12 free throws in the first game against Duke.
Yeah.
They only shot 13 free throws, 12 free throws. And that's a big difference. Like, you need to be closer to 30 free throws.
That shows not being aggressive.
Yeah.
That shows you're not attacking. You're not being aggressive. You got intimidated by the guys in the middle, and you are scared to attack.
Yeah, so all you're doing is just, defaulting to, okay, well, they're not going to give me the 3 here, so let me step back 2 or 3 or 4 steps and shoot it from there. That's not a recipe for success.
Or let me drive
11 for 34 from 3 when they lost 52-83.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, most of those 34 attempts, James, were like fading away, falling away, or probably like 30 feet out or more. Guaranteed.
Or taking just and not going through complete offense.
Yes, rushing shots, early shots, things of that nature.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, that's what we need to continue to look for. So, like, that's where, folks, I think that's where you need to see Louisville have more growth today. We need to see a continuation from the Baylor game to see if Louisville can continue to execute, get good looks. When I talk about a good look is when you're shooting a three-point shot where it's either off the catch and you're wide open, or you are running through your sets completely, getting the ball into the paint, and the ball's going into the paint and then moving out. Okay, and then you either pump fake the closeout, sidestep, shoot, or drive the closeout, whatever have you. But you want to see Louisville running complete offense. I thought Louisville's patience was so much better against NC State. And it's funny to say they were more patient and scored 118 points. Slowing your offense down scored you 118 points.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they were able to go through all the progressions.
Yes.
Able to move the ball around, find that good shot. It may have taken an extra 5 or 6 seconds.
Yeah.
But you got the good shot.
But higher shot quality,
it's higher shot percentage.
Exactly.
And then when you attack the basket, it opens that. When you can attack the basket and score, it opens everything up. And then also it helps to have that Michael just went unconscious from the 3-point line.
Yeah. Then you have like the dude that makes you a Final Four threat, like that transcendent talent.
Yeah.
You know, like that's when that transcendent talent, when everybody else is doing their job. That's why, even though, you see Conwell and you see Brown with all the points, that doesn't mean that everybody else is sitting around like a bump on. All those guys are moving. Kanai Roos is cutting. Ali Khalifa is dropping dimes. Adrian Woolley is being aggressive defensively and getting to the basket.
Fru's getting the ball in the paint.
Fru is rolling hard to the basket, and when he's getting there, he's finishing.
Couple of moves.
Yes. Like all of that stuff matters. Like everybody doing their job is what opens up for nights like we had Monday night. And we need to see that be more of a, regular habit.
Want to see it be more consistent.
Yes.
You want to see Louisville play a big man lineup more consistent.
Yes.
Right? You want to see Kason Pryor.
Yeah, he's played well.
And Roos get more clock.
Yes.
Because on the defensive end, you need Roos because he's the guy you take Hadley out for when he's too small. And Kanai can come in and take his spot and be the height and length that you need against bigger teams. So, but in order to get to play like we want to play, he has to have more time to kind of get in the flow of games. Same thing Pryor. He's the size that you need. He needs more time to kind of get in the flow of the game and of the offense. That's what they did against NC State. Yeah. And you just want to see that continuation. And that's the big thing. You just want to see that continuation. Like they tried the 1-3-1 zone again. Let's see it for another game.
Yeah.
Or maybe
they did. They've been zoning out of bounds a lot more. That's one thing I have been noticing. When they come out of timeouts, they've thrown that zone in, that 1-3-1 matchup to throw teams off on their out of bounds so they can't run their actions on out of bounds plays. It's been interesting. It's been good. So do you have a prediction for me for tonight? For this afternoon, I should say 4:00.
I say Louisville will probably win by at least 15, 16 points.
Okay. They could blow out. Even though it's in Texas, you think they're going to handle Baylor?
Baylor doesn't play defense. And
they don't.
Louisville's not a team that you cannot play defense.
That's fair.
Because they will eat you alive.
This
is Baylor, because Louisville is all about matchups.
Yeah.
And Baylor's not the matchup that scares me.
Yeah. Agreed. I'd say I'm going, James, you got a prediction? What do you think? Louisville gets it done?
Louisville gets it done 93-84.
I like it. 93-84, 9-point victory. 6.5. Louisville's a 6.5-point favorite. I'm going to say Louisville 91, Baylor 75. I think 91-75. I think Baylor will run with them early. But the biggest key in this game, Baylor has an extremely short bench. Against BYU the other night, they only played 7 players in that game. Louisville's very, very deep. I expect for them to continue to have those subs coming in, continuing to keep the pressure up, run up and down. I think that's basically what cost Baylor the game against BYU the other night. They got tired. The last 10 minutes, they didn't have their legs, and BYU ran away with it, even though they did give them a good shot. But I do think they're going to get it done. And for your medal tracker, USA has 16 medals. Norway leads the way with 20. This is Raashaan Myers for Haven Arrington. Thanks so much to intern James for making it in. Thanks so much. Congratulations, Jay Haz, on your award upcoming. Thanks for the fellas coming and talking about the Reverend Charles Elliott Peace Awards. Thanks so much for everybody listening. This is Raashaan Myers. Wake up 502. And we're out.
This is Kentuckiana's only locally owned sports talk. The Big X, AM 1450 and 96.1 FM, WXVW Jeffersonville.